Tires on this truck. This is an old Avalanche with some old 35-inch tires, and so we had a problem with the tires rub-a-dub-a-dubbing on the fender here. So what I did was I didn't want to lift it up because I hate when you put lift kits on it and it has this huge thing up here, but it's still rubbing. So we didn't want to lift it anymore. So what we did was we took a pie shape out of this fender right here. Slicey, took a pie out of it, boom, moved it out the way. We trimmed some of this inner fender stuff out right up in here. And now what we're going to do, because we don't want to get into a bunch of stuff, we cut a pie out, we're gonna clean it up, we're gonna tack weld it down here at the bottom, and then I'm gonna use some panel bond to fill this gap in there, some panel adhesive. It's a collision repair stuff. It's a 3M 8115 corrosion protection, and it has structural properties that will hold these two together. I don't want to weld the whole thing up and burn all this paint up and cause rust issues and stuff, so I'm just gonna put a little tack down here to hold it. It's gonna be fine, don't worry. And we're gonna do that. And then we got some other tricks to try to dress it up some. We're not gonna get into a big thing. Initially, what I wanted to do from the get-go was kind of bring it back right here and just narrow this whole thing. And that way I still don't have to lift it, but I got a uniform body line shape, you know, because that's gonna look a little weird. But I don't want to get into painting this truck and stuff right now, so we're gonna tack it and dress it up. So follow along for some more cutteries. I took a piece of tape, marked it off. I put my tape on this side of the body line, on this side, so when I cut it, if I slipped or something, I'm not gonna just screw up my paint too bad. I was real slow at cutting it. I used a cutoff wheel, and I went very slow. I kind of backed off. I didn't want to get it too hot. It'll bubble your paint up and cause it to fall off and just makes a bigger mess out of it. So I went real slow. It was cold outside too. And I used a thin blade and cut it. Bam. When I V'd it out, you got to get back up in there and cut some more structural stuff kind of behind this fender. And if you got a sawzall or something, you can get up in there and kind of cut some of this inner stuff out in there. This right here, this pinch weld, it comes out to about right here on the end of my finger. Comes on out. We had to trim that back. So follow along for some more cuttery.
Trey's now follow along for more cuttery. So what is that? What is that?
So this is it's a paint that can go over bare metal. You want a paint that can go over bare metal that will protect your metal that you cut back here that you're not going to get to. If you have undercoating or something like that, you can spray that. So I'm spraying the stuff that's back here that I won't be able to get to later. Good idea to tape this up so you don't get paint on it, but I ain't going to, because
that would be too smart.
Yeah, that wouldn't be cuttery.
Yes.
And I've been doing this long enough to get the aim right.
Oh yeah. How long have you?
20 long years.
Oh wow.
Maybe longer. I don't remember.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
Alright, so we are going to stitch this back together.
And by stitch, of course, you mean weld.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to weld. Blowing all this water.
First time in a long time. So, what is this?
It's welding paper, welding deflective paper. It protects anything near your welding sparks. Keep the sparks from burning through your paint and stuff.
Oh. This is going to be very intense. Here we go.
So we're gonna need a ground. We're gonna clean some of the paint off back up here. Not more than we have to. Just enough. Get a ground. Okay, I don't like that spot, so we're gonna get a ground, good ground. There's a better light in here. What's this settle? We're gonna turn it down. Fairly low.
So is that like the temperature?
That's the wire speed. And then another one is the voltage.
Oh.
Alright, here we go. Don't want to get it too hot. Burn all your paint further than you have to. Get it just enough.
Now you're sanding it down.
Yeah, grinding it. That
Running
weld.
the excess off.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
So I think I'm gonna continue tack welding all the way, a few spots here and there, and then I'm gonna come through and put the panel bond on there.
The panel. Yeah.
Probably gonna weld it all the way up.
Probably be smart just in case.
Weld it off. You want to keep it cool
Oh yeah.
so you're not burning your paint, like I keep saying. Alright guys, what did we do, Jeremiah?
So we grinded that up, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, but we grinded this up.
We got it all welded up and we got it ground smooth.
Yeah.
We ground the paint back here because it was bubbled up, so we wanted to get it nice and where it's still sticking good back here. So we grounded it back that far, got it all stitched up.
Yeah, it's practically brand new.
Yep, it's got a weird shape, but that's what we're gonna have to deal with for right now. So I got it taped up to the edge of that paint line. Scrub this with some red Scotch Brite back here. I'm gonna take that paint, that self-etching primer or a bare metal approved paint, and I'm gonna spray that for corrosion protection. Stay tuned. Put you a light coat on, let it dry. After it dries, put you another coat on, make sure everything's covered up good. You don't want it rusting on you. All right, guys. So I taped up a little pattern that we're gonna try to make it look somewhat like a factory mud guard or something, kind of edge guard or something. So we took it, taped it up, and I had a piece of tape like this. Then what I did was cut it with a razor blade and made a nice rounded edge. And then I'm gonna take this heavy bodied seam sealer, so 3M product. It's black. I'm gonna put a thin coat. This is after I've scuffed it. I've scuffed the panel with a Scotch-Brite pad, so this is gonna stick. And then, so what I'm doing is, can you see it on there? Okay, so what I'm doing is taking that 3M, I'm putting a nice thin coat on here. Okay, I'm gonna cover the whole thing with a fairly tight white. You want it coated all the way, but you want it to be a tight white, because this is also gonna fill in any pinholes in my weld, because I didn't care about welding it too solid, because I don't want to get the panel too hot. So I'm filling that in. All right. Now, all right, we got a nice tight wipe on there. We're gonna try something on this. We're gonna let it set for a minute, and then we're gonna come back and try to put texture to it. I'm just filling in some of these voids in this panel back here. So you want to be attentive to it. I'm trying to catch it. It hasn't set up yet, but it's really close. So I'm taking the Scotch-Brite and I'm adding some texture to it. Okay, it's gonna kind of blend in with that. Hopefully, that's what we're trying to kind of give it some texture, make it look like a splash shield or whatever you call them things, edge guards or something. See, we got some texture in it, so that's gonna work. So we're gonna pull this tape off. When you pull the tape off, you want to go towards the thing, so you don't pull strings of seam sealer back on your paint. You want to pull it away from, towards towards the seam sealer. Like untaping a painted car, you pull it towards the paint. Unless I'm wrong about that. Got a little edge guard on it. We may come back and reshape it or something, I'm not sure. We'll see how that looks after we put the fender liner in and everything. But it's all corrosion protection, and then now it's sealed up, and it just finishes it off